Coach Wade here. And today we're going to have a real conversation about credit card debt. Because for a lot of people, this isn't just numbers on a screen anymore. This is stress. This is anxiety. This is lying awake at night trying to figure out how you're going to make everything work. And listen, if that's you, I need you to hear me clearly. You are not alone. And you're not stuck forever. I know what it feels like to have credit card debt hanging over your head like a dark cloud. I remember the embarrassment. I remember dodging calls. I remember turning my phone face down because I didn't even want to see another creditor calling. The crazy part, most people don't end up in credit card debt because they're irresponsible. A lot of times life happens. Emergencies happens. Job loss happens. Medical bills happen. Inflation happens. And sometimes people simply never learned how money actually works. That's why inside the Power Team system, we focus so heavily on financial education and behavior, not just math. Because getting out of debt isn't only about numbers, it's about changing your mindset and changing your habits. Now let's be honest for a second. There are a million companies online promising quick fixes for debt. Consolidate this, transfer that, erase your debt overnight, use this loophole, borrow against this. And most of it sounds good because when people are desperate, anything that sounds like relief feels attractive. But moving debt around is not the same as eliminating debt. That's why I teach the Debt Snowball Method. Not because it's trendy, not because it sounds cute, because it works. Here's what you do. You list every single debt from smallest balance to largest balance, not highest interest rate. Smallest balance first. And yes, I know some math people out there in the comments are already swearing right now saying, but Coach Wade, the interest rates. Listen, this journey is more psychological than mathematical. People don't stay trapped in debt because they can't do math. They stay trapped because they lose motivation. That first quick win matters. When you knock out that first small debt, something shifts mentally. You stop feeling powerless. You stop feeling buried. You start believing you can actually win. And belief changes behavior. So while you're making minimum payments on everything else, you attack that smallest debt with intensity. Extra income, extra shifts, selling stuff, cutting spending, sacrificing temporarily, you throw everything at it. Then once that debt is gone, you take that payment and roll into the next debt. That's the snowball effect. And every single time a debt disappears, your momentum gets stronger. That's how people go from feeling defeated to screaming, I'm debt free. Now let me save y'all from some dangerous financial mistakes while we're here. Balance transfers are not financial freedom. You didn't pay the debt off. You just moved it. Debt consolidation is not financial freedom. You often just stretch the debt out longer. Personal loans to pay off debt, that's usually just borrowing more money to fix the problem caused by borrowing money. Please hear me carefully on this one. Do not borrow from your retirement to pay off credit cards. Do not rob your future trying to clean up your present. I've seen people cash out 401ks, pay penalties, trigger taxes, and still end up back in debt because the behavior never changed. You see, inside the Power Team system, we teach people to solve the root problem, not just the symptom. Because credit card debt usually connected to one or more of these things: lack of budgeting, lack of emergency savings, lifestyle inflation, impulse spending, or trying to survive financially without enough margin. And margin changes everything. That's why budgeting matters so much. And listen, I know some people hate the word budget, but a budget is not punishment. A budget is permission. It tells your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Without a budget, extra money disappears. With a budget, extra money creates progress. That's why one of the first things I tell people to do is to sit down and look at every single dollar coming in and every single dollar going out. Not emotionally, not defensively, honestly. Because you can't fix what you refuse to face. And yes, this may require cutting back for a season. Less eating out, less random Amazon spending, less subscriptions, less impulse shopping. Because every unnecessary dollar leaving your life right now is slowing down your freedom. And I know people don't like hearing that, but temporary sacrifice creates long-term peace. And another thing, you cannot keep swiping the cards while trying to get out of debt. That's like trying to get healthy while eating donuts every day and calling it balance. At some point, the behavior has to stop. Cut the cards up if you need to. Remove them from your apps. Delete them from online shopping accounts. Create friction between you and impulse spending. Because discipline is easier when temptation isn't constantly sitting in your wallet. Now let's talk about increasing income, because sometimes cutting expenses alone isn't enough. Sometimes you need more money coming in. This is where the side hustles become powerful. Drive, deliver, freelance, tutor, babysit, sell things, use your skills. Inside the Power Team mindset, we teach people not to sit around waiting for rescue. We teach action, because extra income creates acceleration. And remember, this season is temporary. You are not going to grind forever. You're not going to sacrifice forever. But if you stay focused now, you can create a life later where debt no longer controls your decisions. That's the goal. Financial peace. Not looking rich, not pretending, not financing lifestyles you can't afford. Real peace. The kind where mercies don't destroy you. The kind where collectors stop calling. The kind where your paycheck belongs to you again. And trust me, that feeling is worth every ounce of discipline it takes to get there. I've lived it. I've seen others live it. And you can absolutely do this too.